If you're in the market to buy a car, there are lots of choices you will need to make. New or used? What engine type? What model is right for you? There are lots of different things you'll need to think about. Some people pay a lot of attention to fuel consumption, whereas others are more concerned with reliability. Whatever car you finally choose, you will need to decide how you're going to pay for it. Some people decide to spend their savings or make other finance arrangements. Another increasingly popular option is to arrange finance through the dealership you buy your car from. I'm Jana Warlow, and I've come to Honda in Hendon to explore the Honda finance options. Meeting me here to help guide me through these options is Martin Higginson, a senior lecturer in economics at the Open University.
Okay, I hope I can explain some of the options available to you today and unpick the jargon and hopefully help you make a good decision.
Okay, let's find out what's on offer.
Sure.
Hi there both, I'm Richard Weller, Honda Finance. We actually have over 95,000 live customers, which means that we're lucky in that we have a good detailed understanding of our Honda customers, and we can specifically design finance products that are going to help them buy their new or used Honda. There are actually three main types of finance product. There's Honda Hire Purchase, there's Honda PCP, which we call Honda Aspirations, and Honda Contract Hire. Honda PCP is actually probably the most affordable way to buy a new car, and we can also fund used cars on this as well. At the end of the agreement, there's a guaranteed future value, and you have three options. You can pay off the guaranteed future value and retain ownership of the car. You can take it back to the dealer and part exchange it for a new car, or you can just hand it back to Honda and walk away from the agreement. It's up to you. The other option we have is traditional hire purchase, whereby you choose a deposit, a monthly payment, and a repayment term that's going to suit your budget, and at the end of the agreement you own that car. And then the third option we have is Honda Contract Hire, where you're effectively leasing the car, you're renting it from Honda, and at the end you actually hand the car back. There's no option to own the car.
Thanks, that's really helpful. I'm just having some difficulty visualising what each of these options would actually mean. Martin, what do you think? What questions should I be asking?
Okay, well I think the first thing you need to ask is how much will the car cost overall, the total amount you're going to pay. Now this will be made up of the price of the car, any interest that's charged, plus any other fees or other charges. So take that into account. The second thing to think about is how long the term will be, how long it will take you to repay back the loan. Now the longer the period of time, the higher the total amount payable will be, but the monthly payments will be lower. The shorter period of time, the total amount payable will be lower, but the monthly payments will be higher. So you need to budget for that. Think, how much can my household afford each month? Finally, a really useful way, handy way of comparing financial products is something called the APR, or the annual percentage rate. Now this considers the interest rate, how frequently interest is charged, plus any compulsory fees, so you can compare different products.
Okay, thanks Martin. There's a lot to look out for here.
That's really good advice from Martin. What I definitely recommend is the customers go and see their local Honda dealer, and they'll be able to talk through all the information with them. If you'd like to come with me, I'll show you how some of these finance products work. Okay, let's for argument's sake say we've chosen the Honda CR-V as our car. What I'm going to explain to you first is how Honda Hire Purchase works. So, you pay an initial deposit, that's how you start the agreement. Then, you'll make equal monthly payments over maybe 2 or 3 years. Some of our customers are taking their agreements over 4 or 5 years to keep their payments nice and affordable. However, as Martin said, sometimes the total amount payable can be more on those longer agreements. Also, on a car that's 4 or 5 years old, you've got the added costs sometimes of servicing, tyres, warranty, etc. But at the end of the agreement, you do own the car. Okay, this time I'm going to explain to you about how Honda Aspirations work. This is our PCP product. But this time, you would then work out what you think your annual mileage is likely to be. What we would then do as Honda is then calculate a guaranteed minimum future value that your car is going to be worth based on that annual mileage and over how long you think you're going to borrow the money as well. We then deduct that guaranteed minimum future value off the price of the car. This is the initial deposit you pay, and then your monthly payments are worked out on the balance that's in the middle. What this does is keep your payments nice and low, sometimes lower than hire purchase, and it enables you sometimes to even have a shorter term than hire purchase as well. At the end of the agreement, you've got the guaranteed minimum future value, and you've got 3 choices. You can either pay off that guaranteed minimum future value and own the car. You can hand the car back to Honda because your circumstances might have changed and you no longer need the car. Or the third option, which is the most popular option, is you just simply take the car back and part exchange it at a Honda dealer and go again in a brand new car on a new finance agreement. And the third finance product we do is Honda Contract Hire. This is a lease essentially. So you pay an initial deposit and then equal monthly payments, and then you hand the car back at the end of the finance agreement. You're effectively renting the car from Honda.
Okay, thanks Richard. That's really helpful. What do you think, Martin?
I think that's a really clear illustration of the options available when buying a car. It's really important you do your homework, consider the different options available, look at your household finances and think over the next few years what is the best option, and then make the decision and enjoy the car. And one thing I would say is make sure you seek clear advice from the Honda dealers when you're actually going through the different options.
Thanks, Martin. I've got lots to think about. And thanks, Richard, for helping me understand what my options are.
It's been a pleasure. And don't forget, Honda Finance and our dealers are regulated and authorised by the FCA, that's the Financial Conduct Authority. We're constantly training our dealers and reviewing their performance to the level that you'd expect from a Honda dealer. If you're in the market for a Honda, then come and see us, because after all, who better to finance the car than the people who built it?
Yes, that makes sense. It's certainly worth considering Honda Finance when I'm buying my next Honda.